We're now moving on to stuff. We're going to talk about stuff. And I've invited on to the show, the podcast, the whatever this is, one of my favorite dudes ever. Come on out. Patrick Coppolino, everyone. He's a professional comic. He's wearing a hat. Oh, we're wearing hats. I'll wear the hat. Yeah. So everybody, how's that look? I don't know. We were wearing a hat. Hey, buddy.
How are you?
You was a little bit crowded back there with the
Yeah, I was in that closet for 3 days.
Sorry. It's not a closet. It's more of a, hallway, gear area.
Yeah, there's stuff back there. There's a homeless guy back there.
No, will Leo be able to get out?
I don't think so.
Will somebody make sure that Leo gets out from there? This is Patrick Coppolino. You got to give people a second to breathe you in.
Yeah.
We're wearing hats. How's that? How's my hat look?
Dirty.
Dirty?
Yeah.
But in a good way.
Sure.
It's well, you're wearing a hat. I thought that we would. Yours has a marijuana leaf on it.
Yeah.
Why, are you a big proponent of marijuana?
No, it was a gift.
Oh.
From it's a company called Foria.
Oh,
they
yeah.
make like
is that a plug already? You just
yeah.
got here. Wow.
No, they don't
You
pay
are
me to do
pro.
that.
I taught him well. Patrick was one of my very first editors on my old TV show, my little late night TV show. He was not just an editor. You shot footage.
Camera. Yeah, it was literally just you and me
Yeah.
making the whole show.
It's true. Do we? Maybe if we are organized enough, we'll have footage or some stuff we can insert in this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're listening to the podcast, it won't matter. But if you're watching, because people.
I think there's some clips online. The man with the van stuff for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I'm saying in this we could do it. We
Yeah.
could insert it right over top of us, pictures of us, and then they can see how old we are now. Actually, I don't know. Do I look who looks older? We both look older. But I think that you were really young though when we
I was
met.
like 17.
Yeah, 17 years old.
Yeah, I'm 29 now.
You are?
Yeah, I'm a dad
How does
now.
that make me?
You're like 70 now?
Yeah, 72 years old. Damn, this is going to be an interesting. I wanted to bring you on to talk about not this.
Yeah. I've lost my hair since the
Yeah,
show.
look at-
You have more hair somehow.
That's why I really wanted to wear the hat because is that why you wear a hat? Is that why
No, I don't
bald
mind.
dudes
I don't
wear
mind.
hats?
I don't mind.
It looks
having
okay.
a bald head.
Yeah.
It looks okay.
Yeah, it looks fine, I suppose. But your hat's cleaner than mine. It's always sitting right there, and it's fun to maybe put it on once in a while. I'll keep it on if it makes you feel more comfortable.
Sure.
You have more hair here.
Yeah.
This is what I got to get rid of.
Yeah, it's not very good.
It's funny though, no? Or not? You would know. Patrick has, after you left me and flew the coop, you became a professional comic.
Yeah.
And we can get into all the other things that you are if you want. But right now I want to continue talking about facial hair. And why I wanted to say that you're qualified to speak on this. You don't think that's funny? I think it's funny. That's the only reason I'm doing this, is growing this, because I think it looks like a bad 70s sports show thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. No, that's good. Then that's good. But I don't like, it's very uncomfortable. Do you?
You don't like it?
Mm-mm. I would like to shave it off badly. I should, right, when this is over. It's just kind of prickly. Don't you find it, or you have so much more?
No, I'm used to it.
Yeah. You've had the facial hair for a long time.
A long time.
Is that because you're balding as well?
No, that was the trade-off. I started being able to grow a beard when I started losing my hair.
Oh, seriously?
I think it just started coming out of my face instead.
Man, remember how baby-faced you were?
Yeah.
When we met? So, Patrick, I don't know how you got a hold of me. I had a late-night show.
Yeah, my parents didn't let me have cable in my bedroom. And I was in high school. So your show was on?
Yeah. Well, my show was a network show across the country, but it also was on locally.
Yeah,
it was
when
on
it aired on CH.
CH.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I recognized Hamilton in it. That's when I realized, that you were local. So I don't know, I think I reached out to, I can't remember who your producer was at the time. But
well, there was no producer.
Yeah,
it was
I volunteered when I was in high school. So I was only like 15 or something when I first met you.
Right.
I was just, running around with a green screen.
Yeah. Hopefully, I don't know if we can dig that footage up. That'd be fun to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe on another podcast. Maybe we should do another pod where you come on and we talk about the history of us. Because we could talk for an hour just about that, right?
Yeah.
Like literally an hour. And that would be fun, maybe. maybe we should do that. Because really what I wanted to bring you on to talk about was TIFF.
Yeah.
Because TIFF is happening right now, the Toronto International Film Festival. And I guess I wanted to talk about it. I don't know. It just seems like stuff to talk about that's current. And then you were with me for a bunch of those years, and we have some funny stories.
Those were crazy.
Yeah. And so I thought, Patrick, or I text you, I guess, right? What are you doing? Do you want to come over and talk about TIFF? And then here you are. So why don't we do that? Stick to that a little bit.
Sure.
I'm sure I will get us
We
off
gotta
track.
wear your TIFF jacket there.
Oh yeah, the fancy one. I
Yeah.
could switch it up because this is what I always wore, right, on the red carpets.
Yeah, it was clever because you had probably the least amount of credentials to be on the red carpet, so the only way you got their attention was wearing those jackets.
It worked though.
It did work, yeah.
Everyone stopped to talk to me because not because just this, but I always had the red one was the one that got their attention the most, right?
Yeah.
It was the red carpet, and I had about 4 of these jackets. This is the only one I see that I've brought with me now.
Did you make those? Or did
No, I don't think I made them.
You bought them like
yeah, I think they came from a costume shop. Penny Pinchers Costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a plug if they're still doing well. You can go there and get some jackets. Stop. We just got interrupted. If there's a sudden cut in the podcast or the video, what is that called? A glitch?
Yeah, but just do it. Remember those the episodes that when you
They
like
were my favorite episodes.
I don't know where you went. You like gave up at some point. You'd be gone
At
all day,
some point.
and you're like just make a show. We need to deliver an episode by Friday, and then I would just re-edit all the old shows and make them all messed up.
Hopefully we can do that with this.
And then you started getting emails, and people were like, "I think your editor's trying to sabotage your show." It was so bizarre.
It's true. True.
Nothing made
You remember
sense.
the old show, right? You remember some of the crew remember the old show. You remember we talked off camera about like you kind of were into Canadian television at that point, right? Yeah. And so there was a time period, I don't know if you remember, when now I'm getting into a Patrick JR pod about our life together, and I don't know if that's what I want to do this time around. But now I have to because you did that because we did a weird cut there, and maybe if you should edit this pod and then you can do it the way you used to, and Patrick would, I clearly I'd given up like many times.
Well, yeah, we were.
I think I went to off myself at that point. There was you didn't know
You'd
I
be
was saying
gone
I
for
went to
like
walk my
12
dog,
hours.
but I was like, this is the end of my life, not
At
the
first,
end of today
you-
or the show. I can't do this anymore. And I would just leave this fresh face junk in and be like, what do I do? Edit. Yeah, that's hilarious. That's
you're like, when I
hilarious.
come back, just have something to show me. And then I would just I re-edited all the old episodes, but like totally out of context. I would change the voices, footage would start playing backwards for no reason.
Yeah.
And then we just have it.
But I genuinely thought it was hilarious. I thought it was so
it was
but
funny.
I thought it was so hilarious because I got to a point, people that don't know, and most of you maybe don't, I was on late night television in Canada for 12 years and 42 weeks. And it's a long time when the entire span of your so-called career was made up of a 17-year-old kid that is working for pizza coupons while Mike Bullard has this great big show on the network with all the writers and staff you can imagine. And it was like horrible. And it was just... It just drove me nuts to live my dream of having my own late night show, but it was low budget.
Yeah, well, that's what was fun about it because there was no network giving notes, so you would just deliver the episode. Whatever we gave them, they put it on TV.
Remember the poop episode? Was that you or no?
What?
That wasn't you.
Episode?
No. Oh no, that would have been Shane.
What was that?
That would have been Shane. Oh, I'll have to bring him on and talk about that. But we could maybe do a separate whole podcast that just talks about all this
To
stuff.
have all your former staff on.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
I kind of like that idea. If we can write that down, we should just kind of make a list of them. They'll all come back. We're all friends still.
It's a little PTSD.
Yeah. What does that mean?
What?
A PT? Oh, is that the...
Post-traumatic stress
Yeah.
disorder?
No, what are you kidding me? All you guys, when you would leave me, you'd go on to have these great careers. Every single person that would finally leave would go on to have like a pretty great career. You've had a good career and a good life.
So far, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about a good life. But
Yeah. But the career's been
a
good.
little bit I know about your life. We still have that in common. But, oh, and speaking of that, we could talk also about the Chappelle, the new Chappelle stand up.
Yeah.
Because I almost want to segue right into that. But see how I've derailed the derailment of the conversation already? And now people are just tuning in or listening or looking at this bedazzled jacket. I'm wearing this, circling back around, because I used to wear jackets like this on the red carpets of TIFF.
Yeah.
And you were with me in those days. Let's just stick to that.
Yeah.
All right?
Sure.
So all this stuff, I apologize if we're all over the map. And if anything we've said is of interest, we'll get back to it. How about another time? Would you come and do this again?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. And then we'll just try to stay focused on that. That's not going to happen. Even this one's going to get derailed in the list. We'll count it down. Can you count down from 30 seconds or tell me how long before the derailment starts? So yeah, because you know it's true. So Patrick Coppolino, professional comic. You've had a whole bunch of other stuff. Worked for Tom Green.
Yeah.
That's a subject that I would love to talk about as well.
Yeah.
Well, he stole you from me. No, he did.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but he did. But he flat out totally, and it acted like he didn't. He was like, who's the kid that works for JRDiGS? I'm clearly watching a show all the time. I'm looking at all this stuff. Can you do for me what you did for JRDiGS, but I'll pay you twice as much and take you on tour around the world with me? And so you said yes.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't leave me for him. You were gone already.
Yeah.
Or did you leave me for him?
No. I started doing comedy because of you.
Oh, that's because of me.
Yeah, and then I got offered to do a tour with like Jason Rouse and Ari Shafir.
Yeah.
And
He was just in town recently, you know?
yeah, he's still around.
Is he?
Yeah.
He did a thing,
Rouse?
though, at, were you involved in that?
What?
In the pool?
Yeah, Bung Mansion.
Were you
I
there?
was supposed to be on that show,
Oh, you didn't?
but I couldn't make it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Man, see the derailment starting to happen?
Yeah.
But I feel bad. As it's happening, I feel bad for anybody listening and watching. But what am I supposed to do? This is who I am. You think if I could just focus and stay the course, do you think my life would have ended up like this? No. There are lots of actual reasons why this happened. This is one of them, right? But at least I'm still alive to tell the story. There's lots of days that I would have doubted that back in your day.
Remember we were planning a documentary for your career?
Yeah.
But it was good. You always knew it was going to end with either you offing yourself.
Yeah, and I promised you that you should keep all the footage that you had permission, as long as my parents, if there was residuals, would get it. I made you promise that he could, because there's like years and years and years of footage. And then what would happen to it all? And I said, you can take it all and try to, because it could be a dramatic end to this whole thing.
Yeah, well, it's already pretty sad.
No, but sad is different than dramatic.
Yeah, I guess so.
But see, now I just so desperately want to talk about the Chappelle thing. But then what about the TIFF stuff? Let's just talk a little bit about TIFF. I used to wear bedazzled jackets on the red carpets. Patrick was I probably paid you by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was the first editor to get paid money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You first one. Yeah. So many before him worked, like Shane Cunningham. He's on a really successful Big Mike on Much Pod now and has a great career. He worked for pizza coupons for me for years. Like lots of guys, just whatever I could offer them, which wasn't much. And yeah, you were the first. Wonder if those guys begrudged you.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, why you paid me with a grant?
Yeah,
So
I got a
why
grant.
didn't you do that for them?
I didn't know how to do that then. It took many years it takes me a long time to figure things out.
Yeah.
And then I figured that one out. And then I was like, hey, there you go. I could hire you for whatever it was, 12 months, or you stayed with me for a long time.
Yeah,
Right?
3 years, 4
Yeah.
years.
Wow. You grew up with me.
Yeah.
He did. I hope by now we've had a picture of Patrick and I from back in the good old days that we've.
Yeah, I'll find one.
Yeah, and no, but I don't know if we have the ability even to stick it here or something. I hope so. And if not, then just imagine really baby-faced Patrick Coppolino, and a kind of a baby-faced me too, maybe. Although I probably don't look that different.
The same with a mustache now.
Yeah, but I'm gonna lose this. This won't last much longer. You look good. I just look.
How old are you?
Is that a trick question?
Well, you're in
I don't even want to say it now because it'll send me in a spiral into a world of depression and hurt. Because if you're my age and you have the life that I have now,
yeah.
that is sad and depressing.
Well, you were like
and pathetic.
You were like 40 when I started working.
48 probably back then. Yeah.
That was like 13 years.
I am Benjamin Buttons. No, but if I sat here and started talking to you about reality, about how old I really am and what I really have achieved, my failed life, my debauched life is pathetic and sad. It always was, but now it's all, there's no even saving it anymore.
There's some cool stuff.
Yeah, yeah. But now it's just this.
Isn't this the jacket that George Clooney fixed for you?
Oh yeah, probably is. I didn't have that many blue ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clooney and I used to hang out. Yeah, I had an interesting life, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing that it ended up like this. How did it end up like this?
We're in the sketchiest neighborhood in Hamilton.
We
right now.
are. It's kind of unsavory, to say the least. I feel comfortable here.
Yeah,
some of those
inside,
people
I
sleep
feel
in my
fine.
van. I offered up to them. Well, I don't offer to. I charge them.
Do you still have the van?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I'm never getting rid of the van. I will live and die in that van.
One
I will
episode.
live in the van. There's like that. I know it's supposed to be a joke and everything, but I always know I have somewhere to live. The van. So I will live in it, and then it'll all end there.
Yeah.
Good end to the documentary, though, right?
Yeah.
Like the guy all this fun footage and everything. At the end, he's like a rope around the van, and it's because I'm dead in there.
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder how it will.
Remember you tried to get a prostitute to take my virginity in the van on TV?
In those days,
She was going to do it, too.
that's for $10. For $10, right?
Yeah. I think you were like haggling her down.
Well, I didn't have $10. It was a really like truly a low budget, and I was like,
and
"This
you're
is."
like, you'll do it, right, Patrick? I'm like, yeah.
But how great would that
terrified.
be if you lost your virginity on
Didn't
my
we-
late night show?
We met her
for
at
real.
Jabroni's.
Yeah. This is all true. This is all true. I can't believe you didn't do that. You were not as committed as.
I said I would do it.
Why didn't I? Because I didn't want to spend the $10.
You decided not to at the last second.
Because in those days we could do no one knew what we were doing, and it was network television.
Yeah.
Aired like nationally across the country. No one knew.
Yeah.
It was crazy, right? The stuff that we would put on TV, like you could never even put on the internet now, let alone put on network television. Right?
Yeah.
It was amazing to me. Like just so many. I remember when the Trailer Park Boys, they were like, that was their commentary to me. They're like, we're like a made up show. This shit you're putting on TV is real. We can tell it's real. It's not made up, and you're getting to air this. It's ridiculous. I'm like, I know. I'm about to become a big star. Look at me now. Did you think it would all end like this for me?
I had an inkling.
Did you really?
No, I didn't.
No. When
No,
we
I
were
thought
on the
it was
red
really
carpets
cool
at
when we were
TIFF,
doing
hanging
that
out
stuff.
with George Clooney,
Yeah, that's
Brad
really
Pitt.
cool.
all these fancy people, I thought this might be onto something here.
It was cool because the way we structured the Man with a Van episodes, it would always be, didn't each episode was you were on your way to the interview,
Yeah.
but then every interview was on a red carpet.
Well, because
Sometimes they got in the van.
we inserted we had so much red carpet footage from all these celebrities that how are we going to use this?
Yeah.
Because how are we going to, because George, like some of these people aren't going to get in the van. Remember Kevin Smith? Were you with me for Kevin Smith?
Yep.
That son of a bitch, remember he promised. We sat for about 4 hours waiting for Kevin Smith.
Yeah, and he didn't show up.
And he promised me, no, we'll do the whole interview in the van. And then we
Oh yeah,
sat
you
for,
got him on the red carpet though.
Yeah, but then we followed him around, remember?
Yeah.
And we went to his hotel. We went to his hotel. We followed him around because was that before?
Well, that's why it was creepy, like, because we would literally be talking to these celebrities, and you're like, you want to do the interview? And they're like, yeah, sure. They think you're doing it there. You're like, no, my van's right over there.
It was all lit up, though, and stuff, right?
Yeah.
It looked like it was
but the
proper.
There were like those tube lights that were like, you just use like electrical tape. Just cameras just halfly hanging off.
These days, you could outfit a van easily. Everybody shoots their show from their car and their van and everything. But in those days, it was hard to get that thing set up like that, right? Especially with no money.
Duct tape.
What?
A lot of duct tape.
It was. But some celebrities got in the van. Not many, though. Not any real celebrities.
Yeah.
Like Kenny Hotz got in there. You couldn't get him out of the van, quite frankly. But the carpets were fun. The red carpets at TIFF. We're never even going to get to this, but it doesn't even matter anymore. I would so much rather talk about other stuff, but I just want to feel like we did what we set out to do. Do you have any favorite moments?
There was a lot. I don't know, like for me, because I was like this 17-year-old kid, just bumping heads with all these celebrities.
And not
only
only were we doing that, but this was we were.
I do have a memory that stands out.
Uh-oh.
So, the one year that we went, it was right after. It was while I was in college, and
remember I got you to quit college.
Yeah, you did, because you offered me a job.
Yeah. Well, I said like you're. Going
Oh yeah, that's when you were able to pay me.
Yeah, you're gonna go to this college, and they're gonna tell you about all the things that you could maybe do in the industry. Like, dude, I have a nationally aired TV show with a couple $1,000s of budget.
Yeah,
this is the dream. Come work with me. But you were, talented and knew how to edit and shoot, and we had a good time together.
Yeah. But I remember my girlfriend in college, she was obsessed with Jim Sturgis because Across the Universe came out that year.
Okay.
And then I remember we saw the movie, I think it was called 21.
Yeah.
That he was in after that. And I remember I ended up walking out of the movie theater just because she wouldn't stop commenting on how hot she thought he was and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like this jealous 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And then
you still had hair though then, right?
Yeah.
So you were like, had stuff going on.
But then at TIFF, remember we ran into Jim Sturgis at the hotel.
We hung out for an hour or so.
And then you took a picture of me and him, and I got to send it to her.
Yeah.
Pissed her off that she wasn't there. That I always remember that one.
Yeah, that's true. You were like, because you had broken up, right?
I think so, yeah.
And you're like, hey, so I don't know how. I hope you're doing well, or you're trying to break up.
I can't remember.
Like, I'm busy. I can't go out with you tonight. I'm hanging out with this guy. We got to know, but we not got to hang out, but.
Who was the one guy from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh, Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
I was his wingman for the night.
But I felt bad for him at some point. At first, it was cool because he sat down with us.
Yeah.
But then he didn't leave.
No, he was. So,
no one was talking to him.
So Jeffrey Rush, we met him on the red carpet. If you don't know who he is, he's in Pirates of the Caribbean. Do you guys all know who Jeffrey Rush is? Yeah.
Was he in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, that's a high five. Not that I want you on camera, but go ahead. Like, because the segue was what I talked about. It'd be great if we could put this footage in, because I think had something to do with how I'm the stages of Jeffrey Rush. And then at the ended with me saying, I'm the new Jeffrey Rush.
Oh, yeah,
that was the whole thing. I was like, I'm the new Jeffrey Rush. Hi there.
Hello.
I have one quick question, because I know you're busy. I'm trying to tell people that I am the younger Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah?
Can you help me perpetuate this preposterous little rumor that I'm trying to spread?
Well, there is that Michael Caine told me a story once about, I forget which actor he used. There's 5 stages, of a Hollywood career.
Yeah.
Who is Jeffrey Rush?
Right.
Get me Jeffrey Rush.
That's 2.
Get me the Jeffrey Rush type.
3.
Don't you think? Look. Before, after. And then the last one is, who is Jeffrey Rush?
And we're a long way away from that.
Yeah.
Right now they're just saying, who is JRDiGS? And I'm saying he's the young Jeffrey Rush.
No one, to my knowledge, is doing a screenplay of my life, but if I hear of one, You're it.
Look at I could be talking to Kate Blanchett, but I'm talking to Jeffrey Rush, my favorite.
But then, even after we hung out with him all night,
Yeah.
he bailed on us the next day, remember?
Yeah.
He was supposed to get in the van.
Because he was like, so we'd done this red carpet stuff. It was fun and everything. Later that night, we're at a party. He doesn't know anybody. He's pretty famous then. And he's like, hey, JR. And he's talking to me. And then, I don't know, like I'm having fun. We were having fun.
Yeah.
He just hung out with us all night long. And I was introducing him to
But
girls.
he looked
I'm like,
sad.
you ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean? Like, you ever want, hey, if you want a younger version of this, I am right here. Right? And we hung out all night. And then, like literally all night. And the next day, he was supposed to go be in our van. He must have realized, he must have been embarrassed because he just hung out with us. And he was like, now I got to go do an interview with these guys in their van.
His manager came out there like,
maybe
yeah,
he
he's
felt like
not
a
feeling
loser.
well.
Yeah, he felt maybe like a loser because he had to hang out with us because he had nobody to hang out with.
Yeah, or he's sobered up. And
Did
he's
he
like,
realize?
I'm not getting in that van.
Yeah, and then he didn't. I'd seen him years afterwards. He seemed friendly to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that night was fun. We were literally like partying with him the whole, like literally, he was partying with us.
Yeah.
I was a good wingman to him, though, if I remember correctly. I don't know what his situation was back then, but I was very good at introducing him to girls and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny. There's so many memories we can think about.
You pissed a lot of people off there.
It was the most hated, viscerally hated that I've ever felt in my entire life. I've felt hated before. Like there was a guy that came up to me. I remember this one guy at a sub shop once. And he's like, oh my God, were you there?
I don't know, maybe.
Shane. He's like, oh my God, I have waited years to meet you. And I was like, hey man. And we were just like literally years. I've waited so long to meet you in person. I thought I would because I just wanted to say like your show fucking sucks. I hate you. I can't believe you were on television. He went on this diatribe about how much he hated me and how funny I was. And then I'm just like, I know. It was one of those years where I was like, I'd given up.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I know.
Yeah,
The show
you're
sucked
like, I
for
hate it too.
years, dude. Like I had about 8 good episodes back in the summer of 2001, and it's been a slow up and down. But that was one of those sections where I was like, I know, dude. I know it does. And it kind of backfired on mine, I guess, because all his friends are like, dude, you're embarrassing yourself. And I wasn't even trying to be funny. I was just like, yeah, the show's awful right now. It's horrible.
Well, it's bad. Like season 2 has throwback episodes.
But in my defense, we could digress and talk about this another time. Let's stick with TIFF. But I've never felt, and people are mean on the internet and stuff, and they always were. Well, when that ended, that's when I knew my career was over, though.
When what ended?
When no one
was talking shit about
anymore.
you on the internet?
Yeah. When the last mean person disappeared from my life, that's when I knew it's like over. Like no one even hates me anymore.
Yeah.
Here, I want to talk about how viscerally hated I was. Viscerally. So I've never felt this hated before as being on the red carpets at TIFF. And people, not hated by, there was all the media, all the people that we were with, like despised me, right? They would like be like point. They would just, there he is. There, when we'd show up, there he is.
Yeah.
And then if I stood here, people like down the way or whatever would say to these people like, oh, like that. Oh, you're, oh my God, you're like, watch him. Like it was.
Yeah, they all made sure to keep an eye out for you.
It was unsettling.
But
it
the
was,
celebrities would stop because
they're
so
it.
bored of like just all the Entertainment Tonight types. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they see your jacket and they're like, oh, what's going on here? They
Right.
knew it would be like something fun. But that's what pissed them off because there's people past you waiting for like an interview with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
And then like you're talking to him about like what his favorite sandwich is.
for half an hour, or not half hour, but
for like a good like almost 10 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. And then he would go.
Yeah, there people would pull him.
Yeah,
He's
they'd
gotta
go.
No one else gets an interview.
And they all would be like, this one girl, who's the famous, he's an English actor, and I forget his name. He's a famous, handsome English actor, like really handsome. Yeah.
Oh,
anyways,
Gerard Butler.
No, he was awesome. Butler was. It was one other guy, and he stopped and
Hugh
talked.
Grant.
No. But you can keep guessing while I tell the story. And so he was. It was one of the other guys. There's one of he's a dramatic kind of actor. No. So I was just being goofy with him and having fun like crazy. And yes, they would spend so much time with me, talking. And then he's like, "Oh, I gotta go. Nice to meet you." And then they'd go because you guys used up all the time. And there was a girl about 3 down who literally, she came marching up to me and just started yelling at me that she was going to get fired, that she was her career, they'd traveled all the way here from England to do this interview, and I ruined it with my silly questions, and I'm ridiculous, and my jacket's ridiculous, and I'm not professional, and just berating me. And I was just like, I don't know, it's pretty funny though, no? It was but people, because they were not very good at their job, really, right? Or they would, instead of, people don't like to blame themselves in life, right? Most people in all facets of life and things don't like to blame themselves. They would rather blame somebody else.
Yeah, she should have wore a bedazzled jacket.
Or just even done something to, I don't know. You got to get their attention. They're walking. They did their one interview at the front, and now there's a bunch of others. We got everybody, though. Everyone stopped. Now, I ended up knowing a publicist that really well, and that's another whole story. And so then they knew to trust me, and they knew I was safe, I think, and not going to do anything too wacky. But that's another whole subject too. That's more inside kind of what is that called? Inside information, entertainment, backdoor kind of stuff. So that helped. But to feel so hated, to have people not just angry, but you could feel it for 10 days.
Yeah.
People just did not like us, me. I remember it wasn't with you, it was one other guy. It was, he was shooting with me, and he was from Sheridan, I think it was, or whatever. And he kind of was wanted to be a filmmaker and all this stuff. And it was a great opportunity to shoot. And he did one day, and then he had to quit. He said, JR, can't. He felt like he goes, I can't take this. People hate us, hate us. Yeah. They're I can't do this anymore. It's troubling to feel so hated by these people.
Yeah, I embraced it.
Yeah, that's true, right? No, but that's why you were perfect for me. It is, but there were some fun memories too. We had fun.
Yeah,
the celebrities all had fun. If we have some footage that we can insert here, let's do it now, of us having fun with celebrities at TIFF. Come on, man. Hockey, the Beaver, or the telephone?
I love hockey.
Always Beavers.
You're awesome. He's awesome. Matt Damon, Drew Barrymore, Ellen Page. They look gorgeous, and they're saying goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.
Goodbye.
Oh, saying bye still?
Bye, guys.
Michael Sears.
Great to see you.
Oh,
Bye.
Yeah.
We love Canada. We love Jay.
The Mounties are waiting for us, and we're going to have a great old time. See, that was fun. I'm not sure if we just inserted the footage or not. But
the funny memories for me were just trying to get there and back. How many times did the van break down?
It always would, right?
Yeah.
Because remember the one time?
Green fluid.
Yeah. It's true. Oh, wow.
But the one time we drove back, we didn't get out of Toronto till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But then the traffic, remember there was construction? So bumper to bumper. We didn't get back to Hamilton till 6 a.m. And then we had to leave again at 8 to go back.
And the whole drive home was just bare white knuckle.
Yeah.
Because of
every time, out of gas.
Yeah, we were gonna. But every time the van would stop, or it was rumbling, it would stall on the highway, and then I was like, oh no, it's not gonna start again. It's 4:00 in the morning, and then we'd start it. It would go, and I would go, and it was just if it was running, but if you stopped it, it would stop. It would. And this was this glamorous life. People are they'd see our pictures and things, and they'd be like, you guys are hanging out with celebrities and this fun. But meanwhile, We were just hated. People were chasing us with pitchforks. We getting there and getting back was just a nightmare, right?
Yeah.
And it was long days too, right? And we worked it too. We worked hard.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work, actually.
Even just the waiting in lines.
Yeah.
for the perfect spot.
Yeah.
But then, remember it was so I don't know what it's like now. Like, do you still go?
No, I got.
Remember before the lack of security, we were gonna do our own separate documentary about how easy it would be to kill one of the celebrities.
Remember I said that?
We walk in with these huge like Pelican cases and like cases like this big silver cases, and like no one checks anything.
And we were
then,
just
and then
barely
you're
got
a foot
credentials
away from them.
I know.
Oh yeah.
And my whole thing was, remember I used to say that to you, like, if I decide this is over, this show's over, I'm going to try to decide the next 10 days because I'm going out like the right way.
You're gonna like stab Brad Pitt.
Yeah, because we thought it through, right? We were like, you could come in here with anything.
Yeah, no one checks.
And here's the thing. The biggest stars, celebrities, people, most famous people in the world are a foot away from me. And not only are they a foot away from me, but if you did something wacky while they were there, with the whatever you brought in your cases, your pretend camera cases, there are now 150 cameras from around the world that would televise this or shoot footage of it. It would be my greatest moment.
It'd be the most famous you've ever been.
And that's what that was appealing.
Was
It's like, if it's fame I'm after, I think I know how to get it. I think we can do this. How do we make sure that you're not implicit in all this? That's what was my worry. See? I was always taking care of you. I didn't let you sleep with that prostitute. Lose your virginity.
You didn't let me kill Brad Pitt.
And I didn't let you help me kill or attempt to kill Brad Pitt. But we could have attempted anything, right?
Yeah.
Anything. I wonder if they check stuff still. I bet you they don't. But how do they know how wacky we are?
Your jacket.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. I guess I had it on the whole time, right?
Yeah, we look sketchy on
We stood out. Yeah. We stood out. Any other ones that were like brilliant memories of people that we talked to?
I don't know. There was a lot.
I remember
Jeff Goldblum. He was funny because
that was great.
You asked him what his favorite sandwich was, and he went on and on. He started listing all the sandwiches he's ever eaten.
I hope we can dig up that footage and put it in right now.
He was so excited to answer it too. Remember?
Yeah.
I used to eat when I was a kid a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich every day.
Right.
And then I switched to tuna fish sandwiches.
Sure.
Then I went to New York and I loved a kind of an Italian sub.
But if you had to pick a favorite one today, the present day, within the last, let's say, 2 years of your life, your favorite sandwich is?
The healthy sandwich, a healthy turkey sandwich.
Yeah, you loved it.
Yeah.
People loved me.
He's like, oh, a nice turkey sandwich. Or maybe a BLT. And then he just kept listing sandwiches. A nice
actually
ham
bored
and
us.
Swiss sandwich is nice. Yeah, we're like, okay, move along.
I hope we just aired some of that footage. I hope we found it and put it in here right now. I don't know if we're capable of that or the time, how quickly we're turning this around. But that was Jeff Goldblum. Or the story, we did justice to describe it, right? I remember, who's the guy that was making a big splash at TIFF this year? The guy with the lip. What's his name, guys? Joaquin Phoenix. Thank you. It's one of my favorite interviews ever, Joaquin Phoenix, because I was being not wacky. It was just fun. It was lighthearted fun, and it was like just goofy stuff that everybody else is too afraid to ask or talk about. Mm-hmm. And the celebrities liked it. So if they like it, and people watching it, listening to it like it, then what's the harm here? But these people hated me for it. But Joaquin Phoenix, I was asking him some question, and then the publicist, his little gatekeeper, gave me like a stern look and said, "Was this you or no? Before you?"
I don't know. I don't remember this.
Gave me a look and said, like, "No more." She was like, "No more of that." And I just was like, and I was in one of those moods, I guess, finally, after you're just so hated and so like, what are we doing here even, that I just went like this. I remember, if we do have the footage, you'll see it, that we air it here. or not air it. I guess we're not airing anything anymore. People just stream shit, put it on the internet. The television's dead. Is it dead?
I warned you about this.
What?
Remember? We'd get in arguments all the time. I'm like, we should be putting stuff on the internet. And you're like, fuck the internet. The internet, all you fucking young kids think the internet's going to take off. You're like, TV's here to stay. I'm like, and then it happened and you were like, oh shit.
Oh, no.
We should have had a YouTube channel or something.
Because, well, Dane Cook, even not to name drop, but I remember him saying to me, remember going to Dane Cook and the van did break down and we didn't make it there? I remember him saying to me, like, dude, like you how could you not have stuff on YouTube and be, because he got all his fame.
Yeah, on the internet.
Oh, yeah, from
MySpace.
And he's like, you were doing goofy, wacky, fun, off the cuff stuff. Like, I hate to say it now, I'm aging myself here. I better take off my hat and show my hair to see if whatever I tend to make myself seem and feel young. But he's like, you have years of this before YouTube even existed. How could you? You're so like you've got years of content that you could just dump on YouTube like now in the first day of YouTube.
And what did you do after he said that?
I told him he's an idiot.
It is still not on the internet.
I'm like, no, I know.
That was like 12 years ago.
But I'm like, I got a late night television show. I aired nationally across the country. People sit back in their underwear and get to watch me on the big screen. But in my defense, I spent my whole life wanting to have my own late night talk show.
Yeah.
And, since I was a little kid growing up, I was on my grandfather's knee watching Johnny Carson, thinking, who's this guy on this TV making all these older people laugh? Like, I should be this. And it was one of my lifelong dreams. It kind of came true-ish. I don't know if that show ever was what I wanted to be, and we can get into that another day too. Where this conversation is going to take us, but I would never do it that way. It seems grotesque and scary. And
You used to tell me stories like even when I first started working with you, and you're like, yeah, because you had that editing suite that was in it was like an apartment in Burlington, and then
it wasn't an apartment. It was a cool top floor of a house.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah,
it
was
good
cool. But you were like,
and I lived in the
like out of nowhere though, we'd be editing, and you're like, you're like, I've spent a lot of nights in here by myself, curled up in the corner, wondering when I'm just gonna end it all. And I'm like, oh.
You think you're making a television show? I just needed somebody to hang out
but like
with.
you would randomly just tell me stuff like that.
Well,
you
we
need
spent
to
a lot
tell
of time
someone
together. I gotta be honest with you. This could end for you. You might need another job in a week. This could be done. But the guy that my most favorite, Joaquin Phoenix. He said, I was in the middle of that story and I even derailed it. Was that my fault or your fault?
a bit of both.
Okay,
probably,
thank you. Me entirely? Seriously? He started talking about how I told him I was going to end my life and I would have to get a new job. How is that my fault that I derailed this? Yeah, they know. That's right. Is that it? Am I living proof of that right now? Okay, well, at least I know what I'm talking about. So Joaquin Phoenix then looks at me. I'm going to go right into the story anyways. Joaquin Phoenix looks at me and I'm looking at the publicist. I said, sorry, Joaquin. So when you were making this movie, how did you get into the role? How did you really connect with the director? And I looked at him like as if, because that's one of those, all the questions they get. And I looked at him as if to say, Joaquin. You're like, seem like such a cool guy. You're like, a little bit of a rogue, walking around on your little chain with your little publicist, Joaquin. And I must have given him that look thoroughly, because then he goes like this, and you can see him think, and then he kind of looks at his publicist, decides how much longer he wants to work with her, and then he goes, I don't know if he said you're right, but he goes, I'll tell you what. He goes, you know why I did this movie really? It was the one that was I forget what, he was a fireman or something like that, or what, I don't know what movie that was. He goes, what? You know why I really did this movie? You know what really connected with me the most? And I go, what? He goes, because I got motherfucking paid. He goes, I got fucking paid. I got paid and paid and paid. He goes, I did it for the money. I didn't care what it was. I didn't give a fuck about this movie, but I got paid. He essentially said something like that. He looks at the publicist to go like, fuck you. He looks at me. He smiles in that cut lip kind of look that he's got. And he's like, hey, I got you. Use that. That's her job, is to make sure I don't say shit just like I just did. So brother, when you're Dazzle Jacket, you did your job in spades today, my man. If the intention was to get me to say or do something off the charts, and I never aired it. I never aired it or used it because I had respect for the publicists, the people. I said I had a good relationship. Because when we did the kind of the Leno thing or whatever, I got to know this one publicist really, really well. And then we became friends, and that's another whole story. And I was reasonably well connected, even though I looked like such an oddball. And I wasn't out there to piss these people off or to get them in trouble or to do anything wrong. I never, ever did air it because I thought this is going to give me longevity in this industry and respect. And, of course, it just ended me up.
You should have aired it.
Yeah, of course.
We could be in a studio
of course I should have.
on the mountain right now.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe my favorite, that was one of my favorites for sure. And so is that where we wrap up, Tip? Do we want to talk more about it? There's so much more we could talk about, I guess. Any other disaster stories we want to talk about?
There's lots.
Yeah, there are so many, right? Maybe we can, I don't know. Maybe you can come back.
Yeah, I'd love to.
And then this feels like old times.
Yeah.
Do you want to edit this part too?
No, definitely not.
You don't, though?
No.
Why not? Could we pay Patrick to edit?
I remember because we'd
Maybe.
spend every week we'd have to get all the shows done.
Mm-hmm.
We had like 5 days, so we'd spend like 12 to 14-hour days
Yeah.
together filming and editing.
Yeah.
And then I would literally like wake up hearing your voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd hear your voice on the footage. I'd hear your voice when I'm with you and we're filming and stuff. I remember just grinding my teeth after like 2 years.
Yeah. Well, I could understand that. That's understandable. No, but it was like that. People, and that was my life for almost, a decade and a half.
Yeah.
Just anything it took to get the show delivered that week to go on the air. And it was my whole life. And yours for a few years.
Yeah, that was fun.
It kind of was though, right? We had fun. In those days I had the energy and wanted to do it. And these days it almost makes me want to just actually go through with it. Thinking about it, how that's all ended up. Oh man, we could get really dark in a hurry on this, right? We really could. But no, I think what I took from it, like for example, like I lived my dream, I guess most people would. And I'd like to laugh and joke, and I'm sure if you've ever run into me, I hope I seem like a happy-go-lucky kind of. I think there was a time the show ended, lots of things ended, and what? And that's when I disappeared, and I just like left, even Hamilton, and just traveled for a little bit. Spent some time in Italy when my brother was, and then just kind of secluded myself down in Long Point for the last few years. And I'm now back. I'm back. and I'm here again. And I'm in front of cameras and into microphones. But it's been a long time since I've done this. We can get into this too, like my commentary about stand-up and all my jealousies of people and things, and my disappointment in people and things of life. But that was a weird squeak. It was almost like I shit myself, which would be so much more fun than anything we're talking about right now. But I guess what I took from it was, from afar, that whole time you knew me or whatever, like it looks like I was like, and you too, but I was living like, I got my own late night show, kind of. And isn't that what you always wanted? But it was nothing that I wanted. It was nothing the way I wanted it. And it wasn't, because you and I could literally sit, and we will. Maybe we will start to do this regularly. It'll be so depressing. But most of it was not what I wanted. I had to work with a freaking unemployable 17-year-old kid who had no experience whatsoever.
I didn't even know how to use Final Cut Pro.
I know,
Literally on the Monday, you're like, you have to learn this like now because
Right, we have a show to air. Yeah, but the truth is, and no offense to you, I think I saw your comedic abilities, and I could see your talent and your abilities. But I'm just distracted because literally everyone here is looking at their phones right now. I'm like, see, it's time to stop this. I think if that's how they're reacting to this, I think it's time for us to wrap this up right now. But you know, I had no choice. You were the only one I could afford to kind of pay, like a kid like you, and who would also tolerate that work environment, right? Of those kinds of hours and that kind of grind. No normal person with, any real experience. What? Who?
I said with any self-respect.
But I mean, for you, it was a dream come true.
Yeah, it was. It was fun.
Yeah. No, but I mean,
no, but honestly, at that time for me,
of course, you're 17 years old. And you're on these red carpets.
You'd let me on the show for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Remember, let's save that for another whole pod. I should have done it back when I had the show, right? Do you
Stand
think?
Up? Oh, yeah.
I would have had like a full career now still, right? What do you mean? Yeah, I would have for sure.
No, I know. Yeah.
But I didn't.
You should have toured while you were on TV.
And now it's too late. To start over again? Oh, man. No thanks. I'm just going to hang out at the beach and just live my life. Plus, you know what? I don't know. Maybe we should just do it and put it to the test. You should turn the tables. This is how you and I got started. Your stand-up career.
Yeah.
Patrick would talk to me at length all the time about how he was going to be a stand-up comedian. He's funny and he's a comic, and I would just be like, kid, I'm so much about like doing shit because my show was I did the show, like I made it all happen. Not going to dive into that right now, but nobody gave me those opportunities or made that happen. I just made it happen, even under the circumstances. Just to have to work with a guy like you, which worked out great for me. But because we had a lot of fun and did some funny things together for sure. But what was I about to say? We're ending. We stopping? That's what I was about to say.
Let's stand up.
Yeah. I told you I came back from lunch one day and I said I had booked a stage.
Yeah.
And that next Thursday we're going to do a live show. I'm going to call some comics because of the time I had a show and I kind of had enough clout, I guess.
I remember word for word what you said too, though. You're
Okay.
like, I set up a show at the Red Rooster. You're like, it's next Wednesday. You're going to go up. I'm going to watch you bomb and then we can get back to work.
And the point I was trying to make was, and then I think I probably followed up, and if not, I did in my mind, was like, I just don't want to hear you tell me anymore about who you think you are or what you think you are. If you're going to be that, you're going to be that and do that, and then you can tell me all about it every week.
And then you've regretted it ever since.
Because then you took off, you stopped being an editor, you wanted to, you just got a taste of those white hot lights. And you've, gone on to have this great happy life and career.
Levity Comedy Club. Downtown Hamilton.
That's okay. It's a good time to do a plug at the end of a pod, right? Patrick runs all of comedy basically in Hamilton now.
No.
According to me. I'm allowed to say that. I think so. And he's doing a lot of funny things. You could probably catch him at different places around the world, at least around the country.
Yeah.
Do you still go around the world with Tom Green?
Sometimes.
Not anymore, right? Because he's dumped your ass. You're back. You're back. You're back like I knew you'd be. And now I got to decide if I want you back. We can get into that another day.
Oh, yeah, we do a whole episode on that.
The Tom Green, JRDiGS thing, and how your take on it, and how you were infected by it. Yeah, that will be another podcast.
That was that was the most bizarre coincidental thing.
That's a full hour.
Yeah.
We can talk about that, and we will. But we're gonna wrap up now. Fun talk about TIFF. I don't know if we talked a little bit about it.
I don't know what we talked about.
I don't know. The intention was to be timely and talk about TIFF because it's on right now. There's so much more I did want to say, but I'm clearly not going to now. And so I'm just going to say goodbye. I'm going to put my other jacket back on. Do you mind?
Okay. Sure.
And I might leave. What?
You're going to leave? Okay.
We've never done this. So then I leave, and then you can kind of like say what needs to be said.
All right.
Okay. So thanks, Patrick. Or take
Yes.
take it away. See if I taught you anything.
That was I don't know what this was. I think it's a podcast.
But it's with the cameras and everything else. Is it a podcast?
I don't know. Is it a TV show?
It could be.
Is it an internet show?
Yeah, not the internet. No.
There's no money in the internet.
There isn't, though. What's the point? Get your ass on some streaming service. I don't know.
The internet.
It actually is for fun right now. It's actually, and see if something comes out of this, out of having fun again. This was fun for me.
Yeah, it was.
I don't see enough of you. Here, take it away. Say goodbye.
All right. Good night,
Oh,
everybody.
no, send me away. Send me away
Okay.
like I do the other guests.
Oh, I don't watch the show.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. I haven't seen your stand-up in years. And that's the end of this.
Just both leave.
Yeah, let's go.